Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our entitled parents. In today's episode, my child deserves it. Father, when a girl wants sports cards. My narc father thinks my mom caused my no contact with him instead of the years of abuse he put me trough. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My child deserves it. So I'm a president to a charity where we sponsor students at local schools who are on the free lunch program. We do a Christmas get-together, not this year, where usually Santa comes and delivers presents in the back of his sleigh. No, seriously, this guy has a sleigh and reindeer. We say put one big present down and 4 small presents. We spend all year sending postcards to businesses, law offices, government offices, asking for them to buy our coupon books so we can buy these presents. Coupons to local businesses that the board members own. Example, I do quilting. One of our ladies owns a coffee shop. One of the guys owns a lawn care business. The high school senior class offers snow removal day or before COVID a sleepover trivia night New Year's Eve for kids while parents party ext. So now we sometimes have this issue. A kid asks for all expensive items. Usually a girl asks for an expensive doll or a boy asks for a gaming system. And we call the families asking for a substitute list that they make at home under supervision of a parent. Usually this means the parents rein them in a bit. But this year, out of the 400 students we serve, at least 15 parents refuse to take off the PS5. Some of the things we've heard are the following. But Tyler Christians, fake name, mom is saying Santa is giving Tyler a PS5 for Christmas because Tyler isn't on the list. Don't you care about my child's Christmas? I work at XYZ place. I know how much they donated to you. Why can't my child get more? My personal favorite for a woman that came into the office. You people are Santa Santa, reads claps. You must really not care about children if you refuse to give my child his one and only Christmas wish. Now I get you can't get one for every child, but he specifically only asked for this one thing. To number 4, yeah, but so did the 14 other students who wished for a PS5. Parents. Number 1. This is precisely why Santa shouldn't bring extravagant gifts. It really does cause harm to other kids because they don't understand why Santa was more generous to others but not them. Besides, why give Santa the credit for something you worked hard for? Ugh, I hate that with my town when we see some of the families that ask for Secret Santa. We did it once for a woman who actually needed it. I mean, she lived in the crappiest of our apartments and had nothing. When we showed up with 2 giant bags of presents, she was literally crying. It was for a little boy and girl, and we got them new comforters and nice toys. This lady didn't even care of what we got, just that she could give her kids a Christmas. Made me so happy. I was in a position to need help one year, single parent, living with my sister who was a single parent as well. We could barely pay for a roof over our heads and food. And people like you are amazing. The people who brought our gifts to us made sure we had things to make a nice Christmas dinner as well. Thank you so much for all you do. Ma'am, even Santa isn't going to spend $1,000 to buy a PS5 from a scalper. Nice example of actual choosing beggars. Father, when a girl wants sports cards. I have had people state that I only do mad mommy stories about parents that don't allow their kids to get Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, or comics. I usually don't do the fathers because the incidents aren't really that interesting. It's usually just no, and they walk away. I had this incident about a year ago, and while there was no insanity, it was interesting. Today's story begins with a typical family. Mother, father, and 3 kids. 2 boys, 1 girl. The boys were getting some packs, choosing what they wanted, and were making stacks. Whenever the girl picked one up, the father took it from her and put it back. I looked at the mother and she was getting pissed. Yes, I know that from previous postings, it seems that every woman that comes into my booth is spitting up venom and is taking a flamethrower to my booth. But that actually is rare. Flamethrowers are heavy. The boy's father paid for the cards, and the three of them left. Mother and daughter were still in my booth, and the girl was upset. I walked over to her and handed her a couple of packs. The mother thanked me, and they left. A few minutes later, the father came back with the girl and told her to put the cards back because she couldn't just take them. I then told the father that I gave them to her. The mother, now very pissed, told the father, "I told you he gave them to her." He looked annoyed and said that they weren't for girls, yada, yada, yada. Now mother is beyond pissed. She tells the boys to give her the bags with the cards in them and hands them to me. She tells me to keep the money, but the boys weren't allowed to have them. Father states that he bought them, and they were the kids. She stated that they were given to her, and they were the girls. So here's your choice. She gets the cards or no one does. She then went on about a baseball game the father and boys were going to was canceled unless the daughter went, if she wanted to go. It seems that this was an ongoing theme. He was bonding with the boys and left the girl out because he just assumed that she would not be interested. Of course, he never asked. Father responded with a meek, "I didn't think she'd be interested." I don't know what happened afterwards as the left. I hope the father realized what a moron he was. My grandson had no interest in old cars, but my teenage granddaughter did. So I took her on rides in my classic car and took her to car shows. We had a blast. I just wish I could still do that, but due to ill health and I can't take the heat, we don't go too often anymore. I loved going to the shows with her. We had lots of fun. She'll remember those shows her whole life. Promise you. My dad got the autograph of a famous baseball player and gave it to my younger brother. Not me, the only girl, who had a collection of baseball cards and also collected Matchbox and Hot Wheels. He was pretty darn proud of me when I joined the army, though. My narc father thinks my mom caused my no contact with him instead of the years of abuse he put me trough. My father is the literal definition of a narcissist. He abused me for my entire childhood so much so that I got diagnosed with PTSD and countless of other things at the age of 17. This is important later in the story. So last year, my dad took my mom out to a restaurant on our country's Liberation Day. My mom had absolutely no idea what was about to happen. He proceeds to tell her he found someone else that is so much better than her, and they have a connection that's way deeper than anything he's ever felt for her before. And that he decided to tell her on Liberation Day because it is his liberation from her. The following days, he sends her messages and tells her stuff about how much better the other woman is and anything else to bring her down even further. For weeks later, he moved out. He told everyone outside our family he's living away from us because my mom needs time for herself. He tried to stay in touch with me and my sister, but I already didn't want him in my life. And he's also sending abusive and mean messages to my mom, so I have started ignoring him. Now they are going trough a divorce, and he's telling everyone that my mom is keeping the kids from him. I'm 20 and my sister is almost 18, mind you. And that he has always been a loving father and had a loving and close relationship with us until my mom started saying bad things to us about him. I can't even comprehend what mind gymnastics you have to do for this type of delusion. He has even said that he doesn't recognize what he could have possibly done to cause my diagnosis, and that it's all in my head. He tried to push this delusion as evidence that he should get parental rights over me and my sister. I'm just mind-boggled from how he actually seems to think that my mom is the reason I went no contact instead of the years of abuse he put me trough. I'm sorry you have such an awful father. It should be relatively straightforward for you, your mother, and your sister to issue a one-off joint statement telling everybody in your family who needs to know that your father did this to your mother and that he is the cause of years of abuse and its consequences for you. That's assuming everybody hasn't already seen through him and knows that he is a complete narc. He sounds like a very hurtful and vindictive person, as well as possibly deluded. I hope your mother gets a good lawyer, and I hope in the fullness of time, he gets what he deserves. The best part is, he has had the audacity to send OP's mother all these messages about his new love. Hopefully, she has saved some of it. Attach this with the statement, and OP, mother and sister can sit back and finally live a happy life. I don't know what the legal age of adulthood is in your country, but if you're 18, wouldn't that mean he has no claim to custody of you? You're 20, unless the laws are very different where you are, he has no control over you, parent or not. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.